that I can see. If you had your hand up, let me see the second page. Let me see. That would be Olivia, Beauty, Alex, Trayvon, and Miss Martin. Any of you guys in the cars in?
Yeah.
Daphne, you in the cars in at all? I hear a zip zero coming my way. All right, none of y'all. So look,
That's a yes, sorry.
that's a yes.
Yeah, I was muted.
So you like?
I don't have one, but yeah.
Well, like yeah, okay, we work on that. All right. So listen, okay, I got one of the bunch. Yay! Woohoo! Now listen, here's why I asked that. Realize majority of your driving, okay? The difference is, and Miss Loretta, you know, her and I have been speaking back and forth. We're generationally a lot more similar. Now, what happens is, I teach a lot. I teach this a lot. I understand as a car guy, also as a generational difference. Most of my young people, and I say young people, 25 and under. I even go as far as saying 30 and under. And she had some uncle who had her out there in her pretty dress, and her mom and mom would get out of the car, and they showed her something. But that's the difference. So the difference in driver's education is also generational. It's cultural. All right, and so that's what we're dealing with right now. All right. So of course I'm gonna educate you some of this stuff. You're gonna be looking, what the Mr. Ming? What is that? Just for a reason. Okay. Now, let me just go here. Right. So here's some of the changes here. Your parent all of a sudden, stop! What are you doing?
I'm gonna get distracted.
So
Something's gonna happen.
do you think that the accident that you're trying to avoid is really you're gonna avoid it?
Mm.
Do you think you want to get behind the wheel and drive some more?
No.
Are you listening to the person who's yelling at you?
No.
Okay, so we just struck out. So the person who's yelling at you, Mackenzie's driving and someone's yelling at her, this is not productive. If I'm your instructor and I'm in the car with Samantha, and Samantha says she's a ballerina, okay? So Samantha's ballerina, she's full of grace, she glides through the air like nobody else can, okay? Do you think Samantha's gonna hear me at all when I start yelling at her? What are you doing? I said left, right. Samantha, are you listening to me?
I would probably not if the second you start yelling. Nope.
See, look, I zoned in on Samantha because listen, I told you I'm eclectic. I know ballerinas. Listen, when you start doing artsy stuff, let me say, put it under the category of artsy. Anytime you play an instrument, because I play the instrument, Samantha, that's how I know I'm talking about. All right, you play an instrument, you dance. You know, you're you dance like graceful dancing. You waltzing, you're a ballerina. You know, you doing all this kind of stuff. People yelling at you is not productive. Now, that's just a category you can zone in on. But most people, okay? Most people, and when it comes to just on most people, I'm going to hone in on young people as teenagers. I'm going to raise my hand for a second. I remember what it was like to be a teenager. I remember the angst I had, the anger I had. I looked at my mom like, what's your problem? Why are you here? Okay? I remember those thoughts. The last thing a teenager needs is anybody yelling at them. Anybody on this call want to tell me I'm lying? Go ahead, Josiah.
Can I, real quick, I have a package that just came. Can I just
go? Take care of it, man. Take care of it. So listen, point is, your coach, you do not need them being loud and yelling at you. Majority of everybody shuts down. And for those that don't shut down, they get violent.
Yeah, true.
So if you're not careful who you're talking to, you're gonna get hit inside your head.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So if you don't sit there seething, Cameron, I think both my cameras might just sit there seething like, all right, put the mean mug face on. But I ain't quite honed it out. I got one or two here that's prone to violence. I don't quite know who they are yet. Kayla, I'm kind of questioning. She may be violent, but I'm not too sure. I got to talk to her some more, figure it out. Right. But there's a couple people on here. You say something crazy to, they can just smack you upside your head. It's an auto response. You don't know who you're messing with. That's why I say everything's got to be a conversation. You start with the conversation, you go from there. numbers go north and south. So when I talk
Rent, Pepco, BGE, renter's insurance, car insurance. I gotta look for a car. That costs money too. A job, they take taxes out. I got my check today. They took several taxes out. And I haven't even scratched the surface. So if you go to Duval, Bowie High School.
I don't mean to laugh, man. Listen,
Enjoy it while you can.
my man speaking truth to y'all. Listen, one of the things though, above all, Ryan, what does all that have in common? Everything he just see. The thing about adults you don't realize is not. It's just not paying for all that stuff. It's the paperwork. Everything got paperwork.
But that's the real
Work.
Yeah, but that's the real world.
No, I'm telling you, I hate adulting. The reason why I hate adulting is paperwork. I don't mind working. You want to take some taxes out? I don't even have to give you that one. Make me fill out one more piece of paper with my name on it. I'm choking somebody. I can't take it. This paperwork is killing me. Everything's paperwork. You can't go to the doctor. You can't do anything. You want to go buy some at Walmart. Paperwork. Why any paperwork at Walmart for? Why? See, I'm just.
You know what?
Get my soapbox.
You know what? You know what? I'd rather deal with the paperwork than deal with customers.
Miss Loretta,
That's my job. You know, I'm a customer service representative. I'd rather deal with paperwork than with customers.
Listen, I understand that. But as long as I can, see if I can get most of my again, for everybody who's like under this conversation, let me explain something to you. Okay? I'm going to just be the stranger who's going to burst your bubble. I'm sorry to do this to you. Wyman, he already opened up Pandora's box here. And what you feel, I'm sure if Francisco, if I get Francisco started, I'm sure he'll add to the conversation. But here's what you got to understand. You're in high school. For everybody who's in high school, listen up. Enjoy your time.
Yes, true.
Rush it. Please don't rush it.
That's
because
right.
all my 12th graders. Oh, where my 12th graders at? All my 12th graders. All right? Mm-hmm. High school repeats itself. Every job you get, every apartment you move into, every neighborhood you buy a house in, every time, if you go stand at McDonald's, it's high school all over again. You're not getting away from high school. Now, it gets better, it gets worse. You think because people are adulting that know they got together? No, I'm sorry to tell you, they get crazier. So I'm trying to tell you right now, Cameron, I'm a 12th graders. Here's the introduction. You go to college, high school all over again. Yeah, it's more freedom. Some people don't care. Francisco, am I lying? Wyman, am I lying?
No, not at all. Not even close.
I mean, you get your look. Wyman, he just said rent, right? He has an apartment. Do you know that he's got a neighbor who is like high school revisited? Like, oh, he got the apartment with the window. Oh, how he get that apartment? Well, I wasn't high school revisit. Who cares? He pays his rent. Why are you worried about the apartment he got?
But that's life. People do that. That's the same what people do.
Listen, don't get me, Mr. Red. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. I can tell you the life of it. Yeah,
girl, I know you was Go ahead. Wyman is not answering to anybody. He's gonna say seems like it. Wyman's not too that. Pardon me. I pay my own rent and I'm working and I got my own thing going on. Who you telling whose keys you hold on to? Sound familiar, Wyman? Wyman. Well, at this point, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna jump out there. Wyman a grown man, y'all. Wyman got grown man problems. There ain't nobody standing in front of him talking about you taking keys. Oh, let me tell you something. This is how this is gonna go. Sound familiar, man?
Every day.
So there's a clear difference between the stage of life. Okay? So in the stage of life, listen, when somebody else got the keys, you just gotta be, yes, sir. Okay, ma'am, I apologize. But when you got grown man problems, I got my own apartment, I pay my own rent, I go to work, guess what? You ain't holding on to nothing. You see, y'all won't go. I got too many grown folk on this. I'll go grown folk time in a heartbeat. All right, listen, y'all. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you understand who the nervous one is, don't try to gravitate. And if that's the only person you got to drive with, you got to deal with it. But you want to find the one down here. See, this is who you want. Oh my God. You want a coach who's concerned, okay? You want help. You want the person to share the keys with the new driver. That was me in my house, okay? My mom, look, my daughter and my son specifically, okay? That dude heard a jingle. All he had to do was say, look, here's 2 paper clips. All he had to hear was this. Now, y'all can barely hear that, right? Who heard that? Josiah, did you hear that? I would pick my keys up, Josiah, and it would make a little noise like this. That dude came running with sweatshirt in the hand around the corner. Where you at? I'm coming. I'm tiptoeing out the house, Kayla, trying to be as quiet as possible. Here comes this dude running around with his jacket. Okay? He knew who to go to. He was in that car. He was in that car as fast as he could, as far as he could. Okay? The reason I bring that up is, listen, you can hear about my daughter and my son all the time now, right? Here's why. My daughter had to fight to get her hours. Okay? I taught her initially, but then she went to school and she was with her mom a lot of the time. Well, she was fighting to get 60 hours. So if you got the option, you don't want to gravitate. Because let me tell you something. My road dog, Josiah, where my cameras at? I'm going to book my cameras down there off here. Where my cameras at? Okay?
Right here.
All right. Your namesake, okay, cameras?
Mm-hmm.
That dude had over 120 hours when he went to go take his license.
Wow.
I'm telling you, y'all think I'm joking. Every time that boy heard a jingle, with my other key ring? I don't have my key ring over here. So I wish I had a key ring. I'll make all the noise I can now. But that dude heard a little jingle. He heard something like that. He would come down with no shirt on. He didn't even make a difference. He wasn't even dressed yet. He was coming on that corner. All right, now, for my grown man, Francisco and Wyman, they understand he's in a different stage of life right now. They reflect about 5-7 years back. They go right there with it. Oh, I heard some keys. I'll be on the job too. I'm trying to get up out of Dodge. Okay? So, hey, don't shame the game. If you gotta come on with your pajamas, you hear keys, go running, especially when you get the person who's gonna help you get the keys in your hand. They're gonna be patient and instruct you, and because they're gonna be concerned. I wanna make sure you get taught the right way. Let's take it slow. Come on, there you go. Nurturing, that's what you want. The person yelling and screaming at you, you want to try to leave them alone as much as possible. I'm trying to tell you, okay? Everybody got me? Okay. Now, I'll be the sound on. I forgot this thing. There you go.
All you can to protect your child. And when it's time to hand over the car keys, you may wonder how you can help your teen steer clear of danger. The truth is, when it comes to keeping teen drivers safe, parents are the key.
CBC TV presents Health Matters.
Becoming a licensed driver is an exciting step in a teenager's life, but with the reward and privilege comes real risk.
Car crashes are the #1 killer of teens in the United States. In fact, car crashes kill more teens than infectious disease and chronic disease combined.
The good news is, it's scientifically proven, parents can help decrease these frightening odds. As a parent, it's up to you to set a good example behind the wheel and talk early and often about safe driving with your teen, even before it's time to hand over the keys. It's also up to you to be a coach and instructor. Even the best behaved kids lack driving experience, which is what makes their crash risk so high. This experience can only come with practice, and a minimum of 30 to 50 hours of supervised practice is ideal.
Practice driving should include lots of daytime driving, night driving, driving under a variety of road conditions, and under a variety of weather conditions.
As you show your teen driver the ropes, make sure you decide on and enforce your rules of the road. Set rules about where and when your teen can drive and who they can drive with. As you do, keep in mind that certain situations make crashes much more likely for young drivers.
There are danger zones for teen drivers that parents should know about and make sure their teens avoid. One danger zone is night driving. The crash risk for teen drivers is twice as high at night as it is during the day.
The provisional license until you're 18. Hope nothing bad happens. Take away the keys. Which one?
The second one, I believe.
Correct. It's B. Withdraw consent for the provisional license.
Right.
So they go right up to the MVA and say, I don't want them to have a license, and then they have to refuse refuse the ability of that person to get a license until they're a legal age of themselves, 18, and then they can do it for themselves.
Right.
So that's why I tell my high schoolers, y'all be careful. Don't go mouthing off to mom and dad quite yet. No, don't do that. You ain't got grown man problems yet. You want them, you can get them, but you don't want that yet. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Okay, I apologize. That's where you want to stay. All right? Now, what is the proper following distance? 1 car length for every 10 miles, 3 to 4 seconds under ideal conditions. You should be able to see the rear tires of the car in front of you when stopped. As long as you can see the license plate, you are far enough back. Which one do you think it is? Come on, Cameron.
Is it? I'm thinking it's B or C. I think it's B.
Go ahead, Wyman.
What is the proper following distance? It would be 3 to 4 seconds under ideal conditions.
Yeah, that's right. That's
now, the difference is, and the reason why I take my time doing this is, you are being taught through time, okay? So 3 to 4 seconds is your answer, okay? Now, why are the other ones on there, and what makes the other ones make sense, okay? Here's why they make sense. My generation, we were taught by space. So your mom and dad, grandma and grandpa were all taught the 1 car length for every 10 miles of speed. That's why we were taught, okay?
So not to cut you off, but is that why you were saying what has changed since your parents were in school versus now?
Yes. And also, stay with me there for a second. Because now look, as long as you can see the license plate, you are far enough back. Now, does anybody notice where's the license plate located on the back of a car?
It should be in the at the near the lower part near the bumper, right? I think in the center.
The trunk, like
not to cut you off, but like it varies. It could be like on the trunk door, or it could be on the bumper.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The bumper, right? But in the middle, right? That's where mine is, in the center of the.
Okay, no,
above the bumper.
Just like you helping me out here. And just listen, this is what I'm talking about. She keeps talking about that bumper. You know why? Here's the difference that a lot of, if you guys Google cars from the 60s and the 70s and even in the 80s, especially the early 80s, the license plate was attached to the rear bumper, and that's where you found it. It wasn't until the late 70s and 80s that some automakers start integrating the license plate further up above the bumper. Okay? Now, most cars, we have hatchbacks, station wagons, and all that kind of stuff, and all these SUVs we drive, the license plates are located in the trunk lid and sometimes right under the rear window, okay? Now, this is normal for almost everybody on this call. But when I deal with a car, I can look at it, I can tell the difference of whether it was an 80s, 70s, or 60s car based on where the license plate is positioned. Because those cars were made with steel bumpers and the license plates were fastened to the bumper, not the car itself. Okay? So, Wyman, what you were just talking about, your parents, they were driving cars that, here's the thing, the average car, we're going to talk about average car length, but cars were longer, bigger, wider than they are now.
Like a Chevy Impala.
Everybody's homework. Look up a Buick Electra. Go for a 1971, 72, 73 Buick Electric. The wheel final with an 80% or higher. Coaches are welcome to ride along and observe, and coaches should plan to spend time after each behind the wheel getting recap and practice tips, okay? So, like I said, don't let Uncle Joe, Aunt Sue, or anybody else set you up, okay? And talk about how they can go ahead and give you behind the wheels, and they, back in the day, don't let them do it, okay? Uncle Joe will set you up, just so you understand. All right? That car, whatever car you're in for your practice hours, must have an instructor brake, which means when you get in the car with me, there's a brake on the passenger side. I can go ahead and stop the car, slow the car down if I need be. All right? The instructor, the person training you, must have a way of the ability in order for the 6 hours of the behind the wheels to count. They must have the ability to slow down and control the car in some way, along with being licensed and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So that's what's going on there. All right? So that's why, again, Uncle Joe's going to give you all those great ideas. He'll tell you how to start the car using the tapping method. No, we turn the key. We're using the key here. Okay? Everybody got me? Okay. Now, so you guys understand. I know how it is to sit down for a while. Trust me, right now I got a back issue. I can't sit, stand, it hurts to do everything right now. Notice I'm standing up. I don't mind you changing positions. You guys can stand up. As long as I can see you on camera, I'm good with it. You understand? Now, just put a disclaimer out there. I am not technology savvy. I do need a lot of help. But I can kind of figure out when you're playing games, talking on the phone, DMing, chatting, and all kind of stuff. I can still kind of figure that out. I have people trying to play video games the whole class. I'm looking at them like, you ain't paying attention. And when they fail the quiz, Francisco, they look at me like, well, Mr. Ring. And I'm like, you playing video games the whole time, bro. What you want me to do for you? Y'all see what I'm saying? So, anyways, see. Oh, well. Now, the instructors trained by the driving schools and senior instructors certified by the MVA. They must complete the background check and have driving records monitored by the MVA. All right. Must wear a badge from the MVA identifying them as certified instructors. Okay. So those are requirements that I was alluding to that the instructor must have. Okay. I have a badge. They must have a badge. They've got to be trained, the whole nine. Okay. So that's what's going on there. Now, part of the process. Those two pictures look familiar. Anybody know who those two people are? Huh? Anybody know who those two people are?
What?
Who knows somebody who's like that helmet? This is somebody who's nervous. This is your coach. They're in the car with you, and they talking to you, and they nervous, and they probably yelling at Amani. She probably, or he maybe yelling at Imani, okay? The other person down there giving instruction, okay? Now, just so you understand the difference. My wife, when my kids started driving, she sat there, and all we heard was, "What are you doing? Oh my God! Oh my God! Do! Put the gas! Go! Get the gas!" Does that sound familiar? Mia, you laughing over there? You must know what I'm talking about. Mackenzie, what that sound like to you?
My mom.
Okay? Now listen, my mom, I'm talking about my family here. My mom, I'm 48. Okay? My mom still gets in the car like this. Mom, we just pulled over, we're doing 10 miles an hour. That's too fast! Mom, we ain't got the parking lot yet. Mom, what you talking about? Baby, that's too fast. Baby, you're doing too fast. Too fast? I ain't hit the gas pedal yet.
You know what? That come with age, though, man.
Miss Loretta, my mom has been like that since I started driving. That was years ago. Okay? So her age ain't part of the deal here.
Okay, all right.
30 plus years.
Okay. All right, then. I let it slide then.
Yeah. No, look, I got you. I got my older aunts and uncles and folks. Yeah, I got you. But my mom, boys, look, she's gotten worse too. Nowadays, I don't drive with her. I drive with her. Let's drive Miss Daisy. I'm like this with chauffeur's hat on. Yes, ma'am. That's all I carry now. Because I can't get the car with my mom, y'all. I can't. Francisco, I just can't do it, man. She yelling and screaming, holding on to the side of the car. We ain't going nowhere yet. What you nervous about? My poor dad goes to the store. She's yelling at him every 5 seconds what to do. The light's red, the light's red. Die, the light is green. You're a man. You're colorblind. What that got to do with... Trust me, y'all. I got you. I understand the trials and tribulations.
But you know what? That would make her a better driver because she like me. That's a side driver.
Miss Loretta, my dad being a man and being probably colorblind got nothing to do with him operating the car. You can tell red from green. I know you want to stick up for, but no. You can. I know people are legally blind and know the difference between red and green. They might not get yellow, but they know red and green. Okay. So, I don't buy that one, all right? So, listen, purpose, coach, they didn't say parents, the worried, nervous, to hold on to the keys. And that's a problem. For most of you guys, 10 and 2, 9 and 3, 8 and 4, the driver, go on back. Okay, so the driver should have 2 hands on the steering wheel and be fully in control of the vehicle. The reason why the NVA goes there and stays there is because currently we have a lot of different cars, a lot of different drivers still on the road. Everybody in my generation was taught 9 and 3, 10 and 2. Okay? 1 hand on the coffee on a cell phone? No. Now, 8 and 4. 8 and 4 is where they want everybody to go. And that's where we're going to teach you. 8 and 4. Okay? 8 and 4. But as long as you go to the NVA, you take your test. As long as you got 2 hands parallel on the steering wheel, you're good to go. Okay? So that's the importance of that one. All right? Driver education. When a driver sees an emergency vehicle with lights flashing in the side of the road, okay? What are they supposed to do here? The driver should change lanes to give as much room as possible to the vehicle. The driver should reduce the speed as far over as possible in the current lane if unable to change lanes. Or C, maintain speed position because emergency personnel took road position and traffic into account when stopping.
B.
All right, so it's A and B.
A and B, okay.
Yes, this pertains to the move over law. All right, it was adopted in 2018. Okay, you're required to change lanes. First priority is to change lanes. If you can't change lanes, then you have to move over in the leftmost possible space of your lane and slow down to give way in time for the emergency vehicle. All right, so you have 2 requirements there, not just 1. All right.
Okay.
Changing drivers. As far as the cyclists, how far do you have to be? Listen, 3 feet. The MVA likes to repeat itself. 3 feet. Parked vehicle, 3 feet.
3 feet.
Okay. Who is required to wear a safety belt as of October 1st, 2013? The front seat passenger of any passenger 16 or under, the front seat passengers and children under 8, or all occupants no matter their age or the position in the vehicle.
C.
Okay?
C.
Yeah.
Now, why is it worded that way? Okay, why is it worded that way? I'm about 6'2". All right, who's here over about 6 feet or over? Who's got big? Okay. Wyman, how tall are you, man?
I'm 6'4".
Okay. Because I was looking at Wyman earlier. I was like, oh, he a big boy. He got to be at least my size or bigger. It looks like some football was in his past or something.
Marching band, man.
Marching band?
Yeah.
You carried the bass?
Well, I did when I was in high school. I played percussion, but when I went to college, I played trombone. I'm also in the music fraternity too.
Okay. I was about to say tuba, trombone, something like that. So, listen. Who's under 5'5"? Okay. Now, here's why I'm asking this question. all occupants, no matter their age or the position in the vehicle. The size that you are plays a part in this question. Everybody, you're adult, you're in the car, seatbelt on. Now, I'm gonna talk to Wyman here for a second, y'all, but I need everybody chime in. Josh, how tall are you? Josiah, Josiah, how tall are you? Huh?
5'11".
5'11". Okay, good. Malachi, how tall are you, man?
5'7".
5'7". Okay, good. All right, now Malachi's 5'7". Josiah, you said you're 11? Okay. Now, Wyman is 6'4" and I'm 6'2". I want everybody to see their faces and watch their faces when I say this. My son used to play well, he still plays basketball, but even in middle school he used to play basketball. He had this teammate of his, okay? And this kid, well, I mean, they're in middle school. At the time, my son was like 5'5", 5'6", somewhere in there, right? Okay, he's yelling out 5'2". Now, he was a little short little punk, all right? Now, the next thing we know, he's playing with this kid. Yeah, I called you a punk. I know punk. Yeah, okay. Now, he's sitting there, and his teammate, this kid's about 6 feet 300. He's already right here. I'm looking at him like, oh, he's a big boy. All right. So he's you got it when you got your permit. The NBA gave it to you. In there is a chart. You're gonna log all your hours, all 60 hours. You log them in there. You present that to the NBA when it's time for your provisional exam. They're gonna say verify it. Okay, they make a copy of it. They scan it. They keep it. Do whatever they want to do with it. Page 26 in the rookie book, in the new driver coach practice guide. Page 26 is your legal document. So that is your legal document. That's your contract that you will sign, your coach will sign, and that is the document that gets you your provisionals. You don't have page 26, they're gonna look at you. Karen, what you want to do? No 26? Okay, come back later. Turn around, there you go. Is your coach with you? Oh, they're not? Go back home. That's the make it or break it, page 26, y'all. Okay, page 26. Now, be a model driver. Okay? Be a great coach. So it's very hard because what? Coaches have bad habits. We all have bad habits. Like Usher says, baby, we do bad habits. I got bad, it's got too bad. I'm about to start with music now. Let me stop it now. Now, part of the process, the coach, all right? As a parent coach, I may visit the driving school to see all licenses and certifications. Yes. As a coach, observe any class session that includes my new driver. Yes, by all means. All right. Now, as a parent, I must refrain from interfering with the instruction. All right. Rely on the driving school to offer the entire program, including the behind the wheel time within 18 weeks of the first day of class. Okay. So, what's happened here is this: the parent and coach. Listen, it's my time. It's our time. I tell everybody, look, this is Mr. Ming time. All right, you and I together is you and me. Whoever's in the back seat, quiet his mouth. After we stop the car, we done. You say all you want to say. When you're in that back seat, unless it's a question or a conversation got nothing to do with the driver, then we fine. All right. Take an active role in his or her student's driver education. Okay. Alert the owner or the manager of the driving school about any problems before contacting an outside agency. So you have every right to go contact the NBA. They're going to look at you and say, have you talked to the driving school? Have you talked to the instructor? If there's an issue, if there's a problem, I just ask that you give me the opportunity to have a conversation. Information is key. So if we can share a conversation, maybe we should be able to get to the bottom of it. Okay? Now, if I have an agenda or you have an agenda, that conversation doesn't work, let my owner have the opportunity to make it right. Whatever that takes, I'm sure all the owners do their best to make it right. If that doesn't happen, then you go to the NBA. Okay? That's all we ask. All right? And that's the process. All right? Now, there's your rookie book right there. That's what it looks like. All right? So you're going to use the new driver coach practice guide to keep accurate records, monitor student process. the new driver and coach practice guide reinforces information learned in the classroom and behind the wheel. In the book, the first 20 pages of that book, 22 pages, it actually instructs you on how to do things. It gives you an overview, a summary of what to do and then back it up, and what to look for when you're turning, and these sort of things. So it gives you some pieces to work with. All right, so when you're practicing with your coach, you can go ahead and practice those things. All right. So, suggestions for an agreement with the coach and the new driver you can use to ensure a safe, legal driving. Times when the new driver can drive. People with whom the new driver can drive. Roads where the new driver can drive. And consequences for failing to follow the rules. And again, you know your people better than I do, okay? You want to have a conversation when you're not in the car, it's non-confrontational, and you don't want to sit there and have to, I'm driving. No, I gotta, you don't want to have that conversation in the driveway. Just sitting on the couch. Mom, you think I can drive Monday? Sure, baby. No, what's Monday? I gotta work, honey. You can't drive. Can we leave a little early, man? So you want to have that conversation outside the car. Malachi waits to have this conversation in the driveway. It's not going to go well. Okay? And in this conversation, I don't care if you're in college. You can be a grown man here. Wait to have that conversation and get in the driveway. It goes wide left real quick. You want to have that conversation ahead of time. Because you know people, some people you got to prep. You got to prep them. All right? That means you got to introduce the idea, and then you just go ahead and you got to formulate it that way. You just don't show up. All right? A breakdown of the skills a new driver will need and a step-by-step guide to practicing those skills. Step-by-step guide with checklists to see if the new driver can successfully perform those skills. Follows the MVA-approved curriculum, which is what we're going to follow here. Useful to coordinate with the school for behind-the-wheel sessions. Can also be used to guide practice activities with new driver. Okay? So it's a great supplement. All right? Now, again, you got the log here, log your documents, all right, all your hours. Then you got your certification page, parent, guardian, mentor, certified, penalty of perjury. It's all your legal document, all right? And completed 60 hours of practice. Now, the coach's responsibilities are define what makes a good and safe driver and why it's important for you and your new driver. Well, figure out the new driver already knows about driving. Your coach will be talking to you. What do you understand about driving? What do you think the most important things are about driving? Make a plan before starting and give clear, specific directions when practicing. Okay? It helps when everybody's on the same page. Okay? If you say if you go right and they say go left, we got a problem. Okay? We got a problem. All right? Stay focused on coaching when driving. Try to catch the new driver doing well. Okay? Be a great coach for the new driver. So, again, that means, and listen, this is what I told you, you're entering into a driving community, okay? Driving is about people, how sometimes people feel. So, when you're driving, if the coach is always negative, how does that make you feel? So, Amani, if I'm your coach, not your instructor, I'm your parent, okay? Yeah. Let's say your dad driving with you, right? And you're driving with your dad, and your dad's always, you terrible. You don't know what you're doing. And a lot of you don't even know what those arms are. You know about a good vinyl Marvin Gaye record. Hey, boy, y'all blast the house out.
Right.
Marvin Gaye on vinyl? What?
Oh, no, they don't know nothing about that.
Okay, but for case you're like, what are they talking about? Vinyl is a record. Okay, vinyl is a record. All right. So the DJ spin that record. All right. So yeah, I'll go Mariah Carey to Phyllis Hyman, Joe Satriani, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, great guitarists in my opinion. I go on. I love music. So when you drive with me, there's always gonna be some noise. When you're around me, you'll hear noise. All right. I'll pull up in the parking lot. You're gonna hear some noise. All right. So what's that? That's probably Mr. Man. He bring the noise. Okay. Yeah. By no means. I should have been born in Texas. I big. Go big, go home. It's kind of where I'm at. All right. That being said, I'm not as big as y'all think I am. My personality is I'm really a big bear, big soft. And as my daughter says, I'm a big pushover. All right. So that's all I ask. That's who I am, and that's all I can be. I don't ask you. I'm not going to be nothing more than who I am. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent, and most of all, y'all going to just be safe with me. And you'll know by 5 minutes with me whether or not you choose or you can trust me. Most people either love me or hate me, and there's very few people that hate me. So that's kind of where we are. So yeah, like this student here, she's gonna give me the riot act. Right? Because I want you to me. I'm sorry. I can't do it. All right. Y'all excited yet? You don't see Kayla. You okay? You don't seem excited, Kayla. I'm about to play. I'm bringing the music. Kayla, just for Kayla, I'm bringing some music. Oh, and I can't. Just so you know, eclectic wise, I can't go Hispanic on you. All right, so I can get down with a Hispanic, and I can also go to some Jamaican. I'll get my reggae in. All right, my aunt's Jamaican, so I was taught with the reggae. I go from don't get me started. All right, so that's where we're gonna go with this. So if you got a favorite artist. Hey, you want to chime in one day? Hey, let me know what's going on. All right? Even though I'm a little mad at Bad Bunny, he thought like he can go out there and wrestle. Man, stay the music, man. But that'd be that in May. And I'm going to make fun of the baby, so just so you all know. Little baby, big baby, red baby, whatever the baby's called, I don't know which baby they're talking about. Now, milestones on the driver education path. All right? Milestones. All right, so there are benchmarks along the way. All right? You've got these numbers on your screen right now. What do those numbers mean? All right. Well, who can tell me what the first number means? 36 hours. Nobody knows that. You now.
36. If I can, 36 hours is the allotted time that we have in our driving session, but 30 hours is the minimum needed to complete the actual driving session.
Okay, no, you got two things in there. You starting, you got it, but you're mixing one definitive issue. 30 hours is classroom. So that's what you were alluding to. The one session in classroom. The 6 hours is behind the wheel.
Okay.
So you think about it in some academic terms, they might say like your practicum will be your 6 hours, all right, and your lectures will be 30 hours. You see what I'm saying? So that's why that 36 hours, understanding that's what you have to do to get your license. You get your permit, that's what you're sitting here for. All right. Now, 60 hours. What does 60 hours represent?
60 hours represents the amount of practice hours behind the wheel that you need.
Correct. So those 2 hours, I'm just kind of asking you because in order to get your permit, you had to know those two numbers. If you don't have your permit, then you got an excuse. If you have your permit, you got to know. I got to have 60 hours practice time, and I have to sit through this class for 30 hours, man. It's going to be boring. I don't know who this is. Oh, I got this dude, Mr. Ming. Oh, my God. What's wrong with him? So, see, you got all that going on in your head right now. All right? Now you got 6 hours behind the wheel. You got to do it. Now, listen, 6 hours. I'm going to talk about it later, but you cannot have Uncle Joe doing your 6 hours. Just putting it out there. Do not let Uncle Joe convince you he can do the 6 hours. All right? Now, 216.80 miles. That is the average number of miles a coach and the driver, the new driver, which is you, may have already driven. Okay? So, depending on the stage of the game, if you're later, like Francisco's older, no, he probably won't drive like 216,000 miles. Who was it? Where my high school students at? Imani. Was Imani? No, Cameron. Okay, Cameron was in the 10th grade. So Cameron will probably get 216,000 miles in with a coach. All right, that's gonna be the shared mileage that she'll have with mom, dad, and whoever else. Okay, so that's what it is. Now 813,000 miles. That number is gonna represent the average number of miles that the American drives in a lifetime. Okay? That's the average number of miles. Now, some of you said, I'll get chauffeured and I don't want to drive. Well, you may be around that average number of time you're all said and done with, or a little less. My mom, she gets chauffeured by my dad and everybody else all the time. My mom will tell you she's the best driver. I'm gonna talk about my family also, so you'll understand that. So my mom is the best driver ever, okay? But according to her, she drives like what? I would say less than 500 miles a year. Now she's the best driver ever. Never had an accident. She's run into the garage. She's bumped a car. She's done this, that, and the third. But she's the best driver. Never got a ticket. No, I did get a ticket, but I talked myself out of it because the cop was wrong. Okay. Well, mom, he gave you a ticket. You can't do. Well, he was wrong. Oh, okay. Okay. That's how mama go. All right. So my dad, my dad drives and he drives zero. Well, my dad averages around 10, maybe 15,000 miles a year. Okay. So who do you think is the better driver? Well, according to my mom, is her. My mom don't drive but less than 500 miles a year. The grocery store and back maybe once or twice a week. Okay? Now, then they get on me. Because they always talk about how I drive and how terrible driver I am. So you have an idea. I'm just turned 48 last week. I'm already at just over 4 million miles in my lifetime. So I'm ahead of the game here. I spent most of my life on the road. All right. So 4 million miles, 500 miles a year. You can surmise what's happening there. Okay. It's not about always the numbers, but your coach, experience, things that you've done. The more time you do something, it becomes second nature, and you get better at it. Okay. So that's what's happening there. All right. Now, what are you doing today? Well, I want the list. Who is the driving coach and why do I need one? What is the GLS or graduate licensing system? What does a driving school do for me? What am I supposed to do in driver education? All right. Who is supposed to teach me how to drive? These are all questions that we're supposed to be talking about. All right. The student will define the roles, responsibilities of the driving school, the new driver, and the driving coach. All right. The student will evaluate how the driving coach drives every day. The student will define, change the laws, practices, since the coach may have obtained the license. Yeah, there's a difference, okay? The student will define the graduating license system and why it's important. The student and the coach will determine how to be a supportive driving coach for the new driver, okay? So as a new driver, it is our responsibility to do our best to make sure that we nurture your driving, whatever it's going to be, whether you like it, hate it, give the information, educate you, answer your questions. All right. When I say about asking questions, listen. Propino is going to have a question, and he's going to want to ask that question, but he's going to say, "Nah, I'm not going to jump out there because they're going to think I'm crazy. They don't want to make fun of me." All right. But his question that he asks will be the same question that Francisco, Jaden, Kennedy, Kayla, and Mackenzie all have. They may ask the question a little differently, but it's all the same question. The context, the content is all very similar. So don't be afraid to ask a question. It's a stupid question. No, it's not a stupid question. It's true, very much true. It does depend on who you ask. Okay, I wouldn't ask a plumber how to fix a fuse box. That'd be a stupid question to ask him what fuse goes where. Okay, but understanding who you're talking to, there's really no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Simply put. Because without information, you can't grow. Life is about growing. Life is about information. Driving is about attaining information. Okay? So that's what's going on there. Okay? Now, partnership to safe driving. All right? The new driver. That's you. You've got the driving coach, your parents, uncle, spouse, whoever it may be, girlfriend, boyfriend. All right. Now, the small cog, which is one of the more important cogs, is the driving school. Notice it's a smaller shape, but it's there to help make sure that the new driver gets the information, gets the rhythm, the instruction, everything that they need in order to bring their driving around in the correct way. Okay? I got some parents that will tell their kids, "Oh, you have to stop at a stop sign." No, that's clearly wrong. You must stop at a stop sign. But because the parent just never stops at a stop sign, they think it's okay. No, you stop at a stop sign. Okay? What is the driver education 30 hours of training? Well, it's 30 hours, like we talked about before. All right? You got classroom instruction right there. All right? Includes a quiz after each unit. Can only use curriculum approved by the MBA. All right? To complete classroom component, the student must pass with a score of 80% or better. Okay? Now, what will the new drivers learn in the classroom? Well, here's your list right here. This is what we're going to cover. Orientation is Unit 1. That's today. This is the boring class. All right? Unit 2, signs, signals, and pavement markings. This right here, I believe, is one of the most important lessons we do. When you understand lesson 2, the way you get information, the information you're getting, and how you evaluate information becomes a whole lot easier, a whole lot simpler, and it makes more sense. If you don't know how to read, listen, as much as I love Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee and karate flicks, and I love seeing the Asian culture. All right, I have a ninja and not some ninja, some stars. I can't talk, y'all. My nerve is firing off like crazy. All right, so I'm eclectic like that, but don't give me a book written in Chinese. I can't read it. I have to ask somebody who's an expert in that language in order to decipher what's being written. Driving is the same way. If you don't understand the language, you're going to be like, oh, Mr. May, I can't stand it. No wonder you're terrified. You don't know what you're looking at. Make sense? Let's go see what's going on over here, y'all. Hello, Ashley. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hello. Ashley, where are you?
What did you say?
I was asking, where are you? I couldn't see you or talk to you.
Oh, do I have to turn my camera on?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. So Ashley, why are we late? Because you're past my cutoff time. 6:15. Nobody else comes into class.
I overslept.
Oh, okay. Can you do me a favor and call the office quickly, please?
The office, what's the number?
Where is the number? Oh, the hard questions. Tell you what, I'll put it in the chat room in a second. All right. But I need you to call the office. All right.
Okay.
All right. So while we're here, I might as well go do this right now. So in the chat, let me do it here. So first number I'm going to put in here, this is the office number. For those who don't have it, 301 960 5835. Okay? So that's the office.